And I am live. Anthony Joshua versus Kubrat Pulev. That seems to be the rumor that it's set for October. Que bueno mi gente, Calix Boxing here. Hit that sub button for nightly boxing videos. I like this fight. I like this fight. It's a good fight to come off of for Joshua, coming off of the big Klitschko win. Let me get to the story real quick. The camps for and this is Dan Rayfield for ESPN.com reporting this, breaking this story. The camps for unified heavyweight world title holder Anthony Joshua of England and mandatory challenger Kubrat Pulev of Bulgaria have made a deal for the fight to take place on October 28th, according to sources with knowledge of the agreement. The likely site is Millennium Stadium in Cardiff, Wales, but it's not done yet. There is an outside chance of the fight being in Las Vegas. Apparently, Eddie Hearn's going to be there for the Mayweather-McGregor fight this weekend, and he'll be talking to the executives at the MGM Grand to place this fight in Vegas. To me, this isn't a Vegas fight. I think the fight belongs overseas. Joshua versus Pulev doesn't strike me as a Vegas fight, but regardless, wherever it's at, and I know they're trying to break Joshua into the American market, which could be smart. I think they're trying to build a big Joshua versus Wilder super fight in the future. Hopefully both guys keep winning and that will become possible and it won't get derailed. But I just think this fight belongs overseas and not so much in Vegas. It's not going to get the hype in Vegas that it would get overseas. The overseas fans are just much more into heavyweight boxing at the moment than people in the States are, unfortunately. But as far as the fight goes, I like the fight. Pulev is a guy who, well, let's start with Joshua first. Obviously, he's coming off the Klitschko win, big win. So that makes him the top heavyweight, in my opinion. Yes, Klitschko was coming off the loss to Fury, but Fury became a nutcase and is no longer active. So that makes Klitschko the man again, in my opinion, and Joshua beat the man. So to me, he's the heavyweight champion, the number one guy. And you could argue, I mean, some people argue Deontay Wilder, some guys argue Joshua, some guys argue that Ortiz. Nonetheless, I think Joshua is the guy who beats Klitschko. He's the guy right now. And Pulev is another guy who's a top 5 heavyweight. So it's a good fight between two top 5 heavyweights in a division. And Pulev is a guy who is coming off the loss to Klitschko in 2014. But since then, he's fought 5 times, I believe. He's won all of them. So that's what you like to see in a fighter. He came off the KO loss to Klitschko. No disappointment in that. Nothing to hang your head about. But he stayed active after that. He got up off the canvas, kept fighting. Fought twice in 2015, I believe, twice in 2016. This will be a second fight in 2017. So stayed active, stayed relatively active for today's boxing terms. And now he's going to fight Joshua. Now, Pulev can fight, Joshua can fight. So there's a good heavyweight fight between two top 5 heavyweights. So I don't think there's anything bad about this. And Pulev is a mandatory challenger for Joshua, so it's going to be a title fight. So just good all the way around, in my opinion. If we're not going to get Joshua versus Wilder or Joshua versus Ortiz or Wilder versus Ortiz, it's a good fight between two top 5 heavyweights. Anytime those guys are mixing up, guys like Anthony Joshua, Pulev, Povetkin, Martin, Miller, Ortiz, Wilder, anytime 2 of those guys are mixing up with each other, to me, it's good for the division. So I fully expect Joshua to win this fight, but Pulev is a legit mandatory challenger and good fighter. So he's up there in age, 36 years old, but been active, not going to have any ring rust. And I just think this is a good matchup. So a good thing to see in the heavyweight division, and a good to see Joshua stay active, unlike Tyson Fury after beating Vladimir Klitschko. So props to Anthony Joshua for taking on another tough challenge after the Klitschko fight. He wanted the second Klitschko fight. He was gutted, he said, after Klitschko retired. He wanted to fight him again. So it's what you like to see in a fighter. A guy who wants to fight the best and wants to challenge himself. So props to Anthony Joshua. I'm out. Peace.